me down memory lane, and all I can say is that I urge everybody to actually go and listen to it. But without wasting any further time, we did promise you, and guess what? The interview is finally here. We did mention earlier on this week that we would be having a whole Grammy Award winning songwriter that is MANANA, who is actually on standby at this moment. And without wasting any further time, we are greeting you. How are you doing?
I am so good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, I hear you're also, in Cape Town. I see the glow. Yes, at Cape Town, it's giving.
Yeah, look, the air is beachy and lovely. The weather is fine. So, yeah, it's been a good time.
It's been a good time, all right. Let's definitely get into it. Let's find out more about Undumiso. Tell us about where you're from, as well as your music journey, most importantly. How did it start?
Yeah, so I was born in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Um, and shortly after I started schooling there, I auditioned for the Drakensberg Boys Choir School in KZN. I got into that, and that's essentially where my music journey started. I spent 6 years under some really great conductors and teachers, learning my craft and trade. After that, then moved to Cape Town, finished my high schooling there. I studied at the University of Cape Town. Yeah, and straight after graduating, or a few years after graduating, I moved to Johannesburg and started writing for different artists, and that was my entrance into the industry.
Into the industry. I want to find out, has music, always been part of the plan?
To be honest with you, music was my only plan. I think after joining the choir school at a young age, I always felt as though music would be the only thing I would do. I didn't really have any other dream or plan B or anything like that. Um, yeah, so it's been my only plan, more or less.
Your only plan. Wasn't there even like, like a plan B of some sort that you actually wanted to get into?
I mean, I like to think that I had the ability to be able to do anything, but I never really entertained any dream of not doing anything in music. It wasn't necessarily always going to look the way it does now. I didn't think I
Mm.
would necessarily be a performing recording artist, but I knew that I wanted to be in music and be on stage in particular. Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about some of my specifically favorite tracks, as well as I do know also Namapulapuli, the audiences that love. There is a special one that says, I can't believe that I get to call you mine. Take us through that when you were writing it.
Yeah, so that song, like most people know, is a wedding song, and it's actually a song that I sang on my wedding day, um,
Mm.
a few years ago. Uh, I think initially, with the stresses and organizational things with weddings, the plan was to be able to perform the song, but I didn't know it was going to work out. So I'd written it with the hopes of singing it, and then when the moment presented itself at the wedding, I was able to sing it to my new wife at the time, and then also the family that was surrounding. So it was a special moment. We only released the song a few years later, actually, because so many people kept on asking, "Hey, man, when are you gonna release that song? When are you gonna
Mm.
release?" That? And since then, since we've released it, obviously, a lot of people have tagged us, and we've shared a lot. Yeah, I think people have shared a lot of memories for their special days using that song, and just in general.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like I said, there's so many clips that I keep seeing from time to time, and a lot of people, I think Imagine is about, their loved ones, and just looking at your person and just thinking, I actually cannot believe that I get to call you mine.
Yeah.
So you're coming to East London very soon in the Eastern Cape, in the next week and a half, to be exact, on the 22nd at the Guild
Yeah.
Theatre. We're excited because we've never had you here at Guild Theatre. And one thing about Umculo Wako, it touches the heart. So tell us about that. More plans that are also going to be coming?
Yeah, we're so excited to be able to make what would be my debut solo performance in the Eastern Cape and in East London. Um, yeah, we've been speaking about obviously going to different parts of the country that I've never been to,
Mm.
and really, honestly, like one of my favorite dates that are coming up. Um, and yeah, we've been rehearsing, we've been putting music together. We're gonna also perform new music, which will be
Beautiful.
debuted for the Guild Theatre show. Yeah, exciting times. I'm super keen.
Super keen. Now, trust us, we're really waiting for you, like highly, highly, highly excited. Let's talk about the Grammy. and your contribution to that specific song. I want to find out about the feels when you were actually told that this one is yours.
If I'm honest with you, I think the reality of the award didn't really sink in because I was told in the middle of a studio session, obviously the time zone difference,
Mm,
um,
mm,
because when it was announced, it's early in the morning here, and I was told in the middle of the day that I wasn't really necessarily up, waiting for the news because I wasn't, um, if I'm honest, I wasn't sure that it would happen. Yeah, but obviously when we heard the news, it was a special moment to be able to be a part of a team that contributed to that
mm.
Burner Boy was really special, and just to also be allowed to be a part of the project was really such an honor for me.
You can imagine the feels. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about your new projects. Is there something that you're working on that we want to find out and know about?
Yeah, so we're literally putting the final touches, the finishing touches on my album, full length album. Um, I think we'll probably be done either this week or beginning of next week. It's been years and years of grind, collaboration, working with my production team, the imports. Um, yeah, and we're so close. We're gonna be doing a few listenings between now and the date of the release of the album. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to be able to just give this to people and have them enjoy the work that we've done for the last three years.
Hmm, I can't wait. Actually, cannot wait. I know that I actually want to be part of one of these listening sessions, actually.
Yeah.
Now, there is a lot of people at this moment, and I think specifically the youth that always looks up to Abantu Abanjengawe and people, in fact, specifically individuals that would love to see themselves, singing and being within the industry that you're in now. Could you actually give us a couple of challenges that you have specifically faced so that they know that if they want to tap into this industry, that there are certain challenges that are there?
Yeah, I think one thing that I'm always telling people about the industry is that there are two, I think, primary forms of resources in our industry. It's the resource
Mm,
of money, finances, and the resource of relationships. And if you don't have either, it's always going to be tough to actually make um, moves for yourself in the industry. I think I always tell people that if you don't have a lot of money, that's not necessarily a death sentence for your career.
mm,
But what is important is that you need to be serious about building relationships with people and making sure that whilst you're working on your craft and you're becoming proficient at what you do, you're
mm,
building solid relationships with people that are doing the same. Um, my biggest advice will always be that because I know that a lot of us don't necessarily come from a lot of money and a lot of us don't necessarily have the opportunity to be signed to the biggest label deals or anything like that. But what we can do whilst navigating our way through the industry is making sure that we're in good relationship with producers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers, and instrumentalists, making sure that you're making your own life easy for yourself when it comes to breaking into the industry, and also the relationships you keep will keep you in the industry as well.
mm,
I think it's
mm,
easy to have a viral moment on TikTok or on Instagram, whatever it is, but if you're serious about being an artist, recording, performing, writing, whatever it is, the people that you come into the industry with will oftentimes keep you there. So that'll be my primary, um, I think, lesson that I've learned, especially in the last few years, that
mm.
without relationships, especially, I think it is a struggle. So focusing on that when you enter is probably your best bet.
Definitely, I love that. Build strong relationships. All right, we are joined by Ubuhle Sivu saying that you've made one of my favorite songs. All I Seek is one of the most beautiful love songs ever. I don't know a love like that, but I hold out for it. Thank you for making us feel good. Take us through All I Seek. I want to hear about it, the title also.
So all I seek actually is one of those songs that have a typical kind of songwriter story. It was in the middle of the night, and I was watching some of my favorite artists' videos, It was probably about 2 a.m. and at the time I felt a little frustrated. I felt as though I hadn't written something of high quality and of sound substance in a while. So I literally went to the piano and I told myself, you know what, mate, I'm not going to leave here until I come out with something. And I had to then sit and think about what I felt, was most relatable and what I wanted to express most at the time. And like an honest but realistic kind of approach to love and romance in particular was what felt right at the time. So I sat and literally for about 3 4 hours wrote the song. And funny enough, like when people listen to the song, the very first, I think, verse of the song is actually the voice note that I'd recorded that day. So the producers thought it'd be a really beautiful start to the song to keep the original voice note into the
Mm,
studio of the song.
my goodness. Wow. Now, oh, Obuhle coming in, saying that maintain good relationships is something I struggle with. That's true. I think I need to work on that. Sometimes I want to collaborate with people and I can't reach out because how do I not see relationships through? And also saying that can't wait to see you in East London. I'm coming, bro. That's the spirit. Yes, we want
So
that. We want that. Now, before we also close it, take us through your social media handles. Where can we find you?
yeah, so on Instagram I'm at official Manana, on Twitter at official Manana, and then on Facebook it is Manana Music. On TikTok I'm pretty sure it's at official Manana as well. Yeah, those are all my social handles.
Right. And just before we close it, your last words.
Yeah, I'm so excited to come through to East London on the 22nd of March. Please come through with your vocal cords ready to sing, ready to enjoy, and have a good time. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my goodness. We are so excited. Oh, we're going through the most manana, eh? Homeless says that I hate that I recommended my ex your song because now every time it plays, I get so triggered. I can't believe I get to call you mine. I can't listen to it the same. You
Don't
see
worry.
them.
You can tell Obut there will definitely be new songs to build new memories with. There are more songs coming. Trust.
Well, new songs to build, new memories. Oh, Mutla, you heard that. There's going to be new songs. So on the 22nd, you must be sitting in the front so that when we're
For
singing,
sure.
you're writing notes.
For sure.
All right. And actually, on that note, Manana, just before we actually really, really close it, um, mental health is something that is definitely close to my heart and also close to the show. It's also one of the pillars that I always make sure that I actually look into. How do you maintain in your mental health in terms of you've got so much to deal with on a daily basis? Your career wants you, it demands you. How do you ground yourself?
Um, Honestly, the community that I surround myself with, I make sure that the people around me have a really good relationship with the work that we do and a good relationship with the things that really matter in life. um, we're able to have a good perspective on what success looks like and what failure looks
Mm,
like and how to relate to those things. And then also, I think the biggest one is I've made an effort to cut all comparison from my life. So I don't look at my life in the context of someone else's achievement or someone else's life. I think what in the years past, I was really struggling with feeling as though I'm not doing good enough because someone else is doing better than me.
mm.
So for me, it's been cutting comparison from my own life and making sure that I'm focused on what my life is supposed to look like, but not in the context of someone else's. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for that. And also, she's saying that shout out. My birthday is on the 15th, so I'm gifting myself with the ticket to go see the show. Yes, yes, yes,
Excited.
yes.
Excited.
No, definitely. All right. Also, I love how low key you are. You work with people that seem genuine. Your community seems like cool and supportive people. Also, are you ever collaborating with Will?
Will Linley, yeah, we've actually
Yes.
we were writing at a writing camp for Will Linley last year and this year, and there's some of the songs that are on his project, I believe, that we're gonna have collaborated on. So yeah, those songs will be coming out soon.
All right. So over here, they're like she's a huge fan. She's also saying, "Will you ever collaborate with Oloyiso?" Saying that I watched that Cape Town blog of yours. I thought a song was actually coming.
Yeah, so we've been in many studio sessions with Loiso, and some of the songs that are on my project actually are co-writes that we did with Loiso and the imports and myself. But right now there are no real feature songs for the two of us. But I mean, we're both in our career and the pomp of our careers, so there'll definitely be time, I think, for that.
Yeah, and when the time is right, it's definitely going to be happening. Once more again, Manana, thank you so much for joining us. We definitely cannot wait to see you in East London at the Guild Theatre, to be exact, on the 22nd of March. Make sure that you definitely get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an amazing evening. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Kubaphulaphuli bonke. If you have just joined the conversation, all I can say, oh, oh, you just missed him. You just miss him. Missed him. Good it doesn't do me. So still remember soulful sessions at the OBS Square. Telling Yellow Bones they should not celebrate when he sings Brown Skin. We'll definitely talk about that actually on the 22nd to be exact. All right, I'm looking at time. It's definitely time for us to definitely carry on with the show, but don't forget to get your ticket. It's going to be amazing on the 22nd of March. And it's Friday, I do believe it's actually, yes, on the 22nd, it's on a Friday. After work, I know I'll be making my way towards the Guild Theatre because one thing about me, I am a huge lover of love. And one thing that Manana does, he advocates for it so amazingly with the songs that he actually writes. And talking about the songs that he writes, we also have one more for you. So make sure that you still stay tuned and make sure that you actually get his music on that note. 0661372723.